Before Duolingo, learning a new language felt impossible for many. It was expensive. It was time-consuming. Traditional methods were not only costly but also required a significant investment of time and effort. Many people found themselves juggling between work, school, and other responsibilities, making it nearly impossible to dedicate the necessary hours to language learning. And let's be honest, it was often pretty boring. Sitting in a classroom, listening to monotonous lectures, and flipping through pages of uninspiring textbooks could drain anyone's enthusiasm. The lack of engaging content made it hard to stay motivated. If you weren't lucky enough to have rich parents or a private tutor, you were stuck with textbooks that felt like ancient artifacts. These books were often outdated, filled with irrelevant vocabulary, and lacked the interactive elements that make learning enjoyable. Remember those clunky cassette tapes? They were supposed to help you with pronunciation and listening skills, but they were more of a hassle than a help. Rewinding and fast-forwarding to find the right section was a tedious task. Yeah, not exactly the most inspiring way to learn how to say hello in another language. The technology was outdated, and the content was often dry and unengaging. It felt like a chore rather than an exciting journey into a new culture. The language learning industry was like an exclusive club, and most people couldn't afford the membership fee. High costs of private tutors and specialized courses meant that language learning was a luxury, accessible only to a privileged few. It was a barrier that kept people from connecting with different cultures and opportunities. The inability to communicate in another language meant missed chances for personal and professional growth. It created a divide, isolating people from the richness of global interactions. But all that was about to change. With the advent of modern technology and innovative platforms like Duolingo, language learning became accessible, affordable, and engaging. Suddenly, anyone with a smartphone could embark on a linguistic adventure, breaking down barriers and opening up a world of possibilities. The future of language learning was here, and it was for everyone. Enter Luis von Ahn and Severin, two brilliant minds with a vision. They wanted to create a world where everyone, regardless of their background, could learn a new language for free. They believed that language should be a bridge, not a barrier. And thus, in 2011, Duolingo was born. This wasn't just another language learning app. It was a movement, a revolution disguised as a green hour. They were about to turn the language learning industry on its head. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is where things get really exciting. Luis von Ahn, a Guatemalan computer scientist known for his work on CAPTCHA, had a personal mission. He wanted to give back to his community and make education accessible to all. Severin, a Swiss entrepreneur, shared Luis's passion for democratizing knowledge. Together, they formed a dynamic duo, determined to break down the barriers that stood in the way of language learning. They combined their expertise in technology, education, and design to create something truly revolutionary. Get ready to have your mind blown, people, because these guys were about to change the game. Duolingo's approach was simple yet revolutionary: make language learning fun, accessible, and effective. They gamified the learning process, introducing points, rewards, and friendly competition to keep users motivated. No more boring textbooks or expensive tutors. Duolingo was like having a personal language coach in your pocket, available anytime, anywhere. And the best part, it was completely free. Wait a minute, did I just say free? You heard that right, folks. Section 5. The science of language, cracking the code. Duolingo didn't just rely on gimmicks, though. They backed their approach with solid science. They incorporated cognitive science principles like spaced repetition and immediate feedback to enhance language retention. Spaced repetition involves revisiting material at increasing intervals, which helps solidify memories. Immediate feedback allows learners to correct mistakes and learn from them instantly. Hang on tight, because it's about to get nerdy up in here. Section 6. Overcoming obstacles. A story of growth and adaptation. Duolingo's journey wasn't without its challenges. They had to constantly adapt and evolve their platform to meet the needs of a diverse and growing user base. They faced criticism from some linguists who questioned the effectiveness of their teaching methods. But Duolingo listened to feedback and continuously refined its approach. They expanded their course offerings, added new features, and collaborated with experts to improve the quality of their content. Now let's talk numbers, shall we? Because this is where things get really impressive. Section 7. From humble beginnings to global phenomenon. Duolingo's growth has been nothing short of phenomenal. What started as a small startup quickly gained traction, attracting millions of users worldwide. They secured significant funding from investors who recognized the app's potential to disrupt the language learning industry. Today, Duolingo is the most popular language learning app in the world, with over 500 million users and counting. They've expanded their offerings to include over 40 languages and have even ventured into literacy education. But it's not just about the numbers, folks. Section 8, the Duolingo family, a culture of innovation and playfulness. Duolingo's success can be attributed not only to its innovative product, but also to its unique company culture. They foster a playful and creative environment where employees are encouraged to experiment and think outside the box. This playful spirit is reflected in the app itself, from the quirky characters to the humorous language prompts. Duolingo has managed to make language learning fun and engaging, which is no easy feat. But wait, there's more. Section 9. The Green Owl's impact breaking down barriers, one lesson at a time. Duolingo's impact extends far beyond the realm of language learning. They've empowered individuals around the world to connect with different cultures, pursue new opportunities, and break down communication barriers. Whether it's helping refugees integrate into new communities or enabling travelers to communicate with locals, Duolingo is making a real difference in people's lives. Hold on, we're not done yet. Section 10. Duolingo's future, expanding horizons. Duolingo isn't resting on its laurels. They're constantly innovating and exploring new ways to make language learning even more accessible and effective. They're investing in artificial intelligence and machine learning to personalize the learning experience and cater to individual needs. With their sights set on the future, Duolingo is poised to continue its mission of breaking down language barriers and connecting the world through education. But before we wrap up, let's address the elephant in the room. Section 11. Duolingo's critics. A look at the other side. While Duolingo has received widespread praise, it hasn't been without its critics. The app has been lauded for its innovative approach to language learning, making it accessible to millions around the globe. However, it's important to consider the other side of the coin. Some argue that the app's gamified approach, while engaging, may not be sufficient for achieving fluency. Critics say that the game-like elements, such as earning points and maintaining streaks, can sometimes overshadow the actual learning process. They believe that this method might lead to a superficial understanding of the language rather than a deep, comprehensive grasp. Others point out that Duolingo's focus on bite-sized lessons may not provide the depth of instruction needed for more complex grammatical concepts. For instance, while the app is excellent for vocabulary building and basic sentence structures, it may fall short when it comes to teaching intricate grammar rules and nuances that are essential for mastering a language. These are valid concerns, and Duolingo acknowledges that their app is not intended to replace traditional language learning methods entirely. The company has always maintained that their platform is designed to be a supplementary tool rather than a standalone solution. They encourage users to combine Duolingo with other learning resources, such as textbooks, language classes, and immersion experiences, to achieve a well-rounded education. Rather, they see it as a complementary tool that can make language learning more accessible, engaging, and enjoyable. By integrating Duolingo into their daily routines, users can practice and reinforce their language skills in a fun and interactive way. This approach can be particularly beneficial for those who may not have the time or resources to attend formal language classes regularly. All right, folks, let's bring it home. In conclusion, while Duolingo has its limitations, it remains a valuable resource for language learners. By understanding its strengths and weaknesses, users can make the most of what it has to offer and complement it with other learning methods to achieve their language goals. So, keep learning, stay curious, and enjoy the journey. Section 12, Beyond Language, the power of Duolingo's vision. Duolingo's story is about more than just language learning. It's a journey into the heart of how technology can transform education. It's a testament to the power of technology to democratize knowledge, break down barriers, and connect people across cultures. Imagine a world where language is no longer a barrier but a bridge, bringing people closer together. Luis von Arnon's Severin hacker's vision has inspired millions and transformed the way we learn languages. Their innovative approach has made language learning accessible, fun, and effective for people of all ages and backgrounds. As Duolingo continues to evolve and expand its reach, one thing is certain: the future of language learning is bright, engaging, and accessible to all. The app's gamified approach keeps learners motivated, while its adaptive algorithms ensure personalized learning experiences. Behind the scenes, a dedicated team works tirelessly to improve and expand the platform, incorporating user feedback and the latest in educational research. Their commitment to excellence ensures that Duolingo remains at the forefront of language education. And that's our show for today, folks. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the power of Duolingo's vision. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories of innovation and impact. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.